What's up, everybody? Welcome again to the show that never ends. Nearly a year strong and dong. I, of course, am your host, your intrepid host, I might add, Trav, brought to you always with promotional consideration from my co-host with the most muscles, the most raw girthiness, the most machismo, at least as far as I'm concerned, in the South Coast, the incomparable, the undefeated, the all-powerful, the vanilla gorilla himself, Mr. Joey Fats.
What up, dog?
How are you, brother?
I'm good, dude. It's opening week for football.
Yep.
The weather was disgusting yesterday, so I felt zero shame about sitting in my house for 9 hours straight.
It was just rainy, like and it wasn't warm and it wasn't cold. It was just like
Just not a nice day out. But it was nice to not. It was nice to not have to feel like obligated to be outside doing something.
Right.
On a football Sunday, because I feel like every year, like opening day, it's like 85 degrees and beautiful, and I'm sitting in my basement. I'm like looking out the window, like I am a piece of shit.
Feel like kind of guilty for wasting such a nice day. Well, quote unquote wasting. It's not a waste to watch whatever you enjoy watching. But yes, while the weather is nice and it's soon to be fleeting,
Unfortunately.
Before you know it, it's just going to be stick season, and that's all we got to look at. And it gets dark super early.
Dude, even tonight, it's like 7:30, and I'm like, it's already dark. I'm like, the fuck, bro?
Yeah, I'm starting to notice when I wake up for work that it's darker as I'm leaving, and we haven't even touched the clocks again yet. So
I know that's the worst part is when we're getting to that part, like when the clocks come back and we're like, oh no, or go forward, I should say, fall back.
Yeah, they fall back.
Yeah, and that's just like it's just terrible. Like you're like then it's like 5 o'clock. And you're like, oh, it's dark. That's lame.
Mhm.
This sucks. No one likes this. No one wants this. Nobody. No.
No,
Not a
we
single
should
person.
just get rid of it. The old saying of the old reasoning behind it. Well, it benefits the farmers. Well, that doesn't really matter that much anymore, considering how much of it is automated and just.
Well, the only thing is if we.
Yes, there are workers that are out there doing it, but
we got rid of it. They're like in the wintertime, the sun wouldn't come up until like 9 a.m.
On a good day, yes.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like the sunrise would get like so, like it gets so dark. It'd be so much worse if we got rid of it. Somebody explained to me like what would actually happen, like in the winter without daylight savings time. They're like, you think it would be beneficial, but they're like, I can tell you, it is not. Like you'll just have a different set of problems that you didn't know you were going to have to deal with, and now you're going to have to adapt to. So It's kind of one of those, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't.
Sure. Yeah, if that's the case, then yeah, you know what? Fuck it. We'll just keep it the way it is. It's not like how in like Arizona they got rid of it because it doesn't really affect them either way. Like
right.
At least
certain
not that
states
badly.
Could get rid of it, I guess. But
yeah,
then,
depending on where they are.
Then you're just all fucked up on the clock. You're like, oh, it's 5 o'clock here, which I guess doesn't matter if it's like 6 o'clock in Arizona. And then instead of being 3 o'clock in Massachusetts, it's 2 o'clock. And you're like, well, whatever. Who cares? Like, does it really make that much of a difference? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But it could maybe, I don't know. Maybe like, I don't know. It would just, I think it would fuck some shit up, especially like traveling and stuff like that, where you're going to a state that doesn't have daylight savings time and you get there and it's just an hour. Like, in addition to the jet lag, like now you're just dealing with like another hour that you're losing.
Right. Yeah, that's.
So.
Yeah. I could see that being a pain
and
in
it's
the
not
ass
like
for sure.
It's not like they're in the future, you know.
No, if it comparatively if they're west of us, then they're behind us no matter what.
You know, it's like when that like when they said that, like, that part, like, forget who it was, that like I think it was a movie, it was like a joke, and they were like, why didn't Australia, like, if Australia is so like 12 hours ahead of us time wise, why didn't they warn us about Pearl Harbor or 9/11?
Yeah.
And you're like,
actually, one of the
time zones work. Actually,
one of the more recent Beavis and Butthead episodes that I just watched recently, they are on a bus. They're on like a school trip, and they happen to be going into another time zone.
Oh yeah.
And the way it explained to them, they think if they just keep walking around this sign, they'll just keep going back in time.
Yep,
And
I saw that one.
And of course, that's not the case. That one was good.
Yeah, that was one of the newer ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. I watched that one. I think that was like last season's.
Right, yeah, I'm catching up on that still, but I did watch that one recently and got quite a few laughs out of it.
Yeah, even like my wife and I sit there and watch Beavis and Butthead like we have nothing else to do. We'll just throw it on, and we get such a fucking kick out of it. It's so stupid. It's just so goddamn funny. Like they make being stupid so fucking funny still to this day. It's like, how are they still doing this 30 years later? It's just like,
well, it
insane.
still works because the formula, once he ironed out the kinks of it being just controversial for controversial sake, like,
yeah,
oh,
like
these kids are just
baseball.
doing, yes, exactly, and he like really just settled into who the characters are, and the surrounding characters as well.
They're whacking in my tool shed.
Once he dialed that all in, it was just like, okay, now this is formulaic as far as episodes go, and
now
it's
we
great.
Can just make it funny.
2 fantastic feature-length films as well, spaced very well apart.
Yeah, and both excellent. I mean, they're both the exact same movie, just with different characters, which is perfect.
And it was the perfect way for him to bring them back into modern times and explain why they're in the current year that we're in, or years.
I did mean to do this. I meant to look up who the voice actors were for the new movie, because
some of the bigger names that they had.
Yeah, because like Bruce Willis was in the first one,
and Demi Moore. That was like the big get.
Yeah,
who were still a couple at the time. They were like,
let's see, I recognize Gary Cole.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recognize many other people though.
Well, Gary Cole's been involved with Mike Judge for a while.
Yeah,
he was Lumbergh, of course, in Office Space.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I'm looking to see. I don't recognize many other names in here.
I
so
feel
it
like
definitely wasn't as star-studded as the first one was.
Maybe not. Whoever the main female agent was, that had to have been somebody of note. I just don't think I ever checked.
Not that I know of. Not that I recognize, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like this one, Bruce Willis, Demi Moore, Robert Stack, obviously, who was fucking hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with
Cloris
Greg Kinnear.
Leachman,
yeah,
David
Cloris
Letterman.
Leachman.
Who else was in this? There's gonna be somebody else here we recognize. I'm sure somebody else recognizes a lot of these, but yeah, those are like the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but Cloris Leachman, she was the old lady.
Yeah.
Oh, I love to play the sluts. Well,
this lady's a slut.
This lady's a slut.
Oh, I lost it. Yeah, I took a beating. Whoa.
Whoa, this chick's a slut. Yeah, that was a good one. That was an excellent movie. But yes, you're right. 2 full feature length films, like, and they just keep doing it. They keep churning them out, and they don't lose a step. They're a lot like South Park, and I think, I don't know why it's surprising, or I'm even remotely surprised that it's still this funny, because Mike Judge has been we've known Mike Judge has been a brilliant comedic genius for a long time. I mean, obviously, like you said earlier, Office Space, Idiocracy, Beavis and Butthead, like
King of the Hill.
The Hill, like just all genius shows, and like I still think like one of my favorite King of the Hill lines is when he's like first introduced to Khan, and he's like, "So are you Chinese or Japanese?"
I'm like, ocean. You're from the ocean? Which ocean?
And he just looks at me and he goes, and he just repeats the question.
Yeah.
So are you Chinese or Japanese?
Yeah.
And like it's like such a typical like middle America like hillbilly who has no idea. He's like, there's 2 types of Asians, Chinese and Japanese.
But he's also of the age where he should have known. Like his father fought in World War II, but he still would have known about the Korean War, which followed after that, and
which makes it even
Vietnam.
Funnier.
Yeah,
which makes it even funnier.
Mm-hmm.
Because now it's just like he's just being like blatantly ignorant and disrespectful, and it's great. And that's what makes it so funny.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, those are some good ones. So yeah. But no, speaking of TV shows, and we talked a little bit about before. I just picked up on a recommendation from my brother, the Twisted Metal TV series.
Right.
And Trav, when I tell you I haven't gotten wrapped up in a TV show like this in a long time. Like this grabbed me, pulled me in, and I absolutely fell in love with it. Fell in love with it instantly.
I didn't actually start watching it until last year, because the first season came out in 2023. Then it got picked up, and then they filmed last year, and now releasing season 2. Typical production schedule as of right now.
Is there going to be a season 3?
I believe it's rumored to have gotten the green light.
Okay, good, because I really want this to continue, because I love the characters. Like, I just think, and the writing is actually pretty good. The story is fun. It's easy to follow along. There's plenty of betrayal and non-debauchery and all sorts of stuff.
The action is good. It's violent as hell. It's on streaming, so it's Peacock, but technically that's NBC. But they're swearing out the ass. They say fuck all the time. It's definitely TV MA.
It's definitely not for kids. And the violence, like my buddy was at, like one of my friends was like, he's like, did you think the CGI kind of sucked and like it wasn't really that good? And I was just like, no, it wasn't that good. I said, but
it gets better in season 2.
Well, and not only that, but it gives me very like graphic novel, like Sin City type vibes.
Also, consider the source material. It's a goofy game that I've been a fan of since the first one.
What, 96 that it first came out, 95, like
I believe 95.
It was on PS1, so it had to have been 95, 96.
Now, if it wasn't the same, the fall that it came out in the first PlayStation, the PS1 as it were, then it definitely came out in 96. But I want to say 95.
Yeah,
and
I remember playing it in middle school.
I'm a fan of. We played almost all of them, and the fun of it was going through it and trying to unlock all the endings for each character to see what the fuck their wish was and how Calypso would, monkey's paw it basically, and like, oh well, you got it, but didn't say how you were gonna get it. So it's always like
this. It's like this potion makes you irresistible to women, but you can't get your dick hard.
Yeah, it's always ironic.
Mm-hmm.
And they brought all the mainstays are there that you'd want to see for the most part.
Yeah.
At least out of the gate, they keep it kind of modest, and I do like that season 1. I kind of wish they got to the competition a little sooner in the series, to be honest.
Yeah, because I'm just about halfway through season 2, and they're just getting to.
Yes, and they do a good job with it, but I'll get to what I think about that after I go over the first season. It's all world building. It's like this is, and they don't they spoon feed it to you a little bit in the sense that like you're not in on everything yet. So there's still things you have to figure out as a viewer and piece things together. They do play a little free and loose with the, if you want to call it, the lore.
Yeah.
But all those games were kind of self-contained, so like the structure to each character was there, but you can kind of do what you want with them.
I actually didn't play the games a ton, which is kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously I played them, but like I never owned any of them, so I never went through and like beat them and opened up like got to the endings or beat the games or anything like that.
I mean, it's not that deep, but it's there.
Which I mean is fine.
They stay pretty damn true to each of the well-known characters, and do a good job of creating new ones, like John Doe.
Yep.
He's great as the lead.
I think and Anthony Mackie's hilarious. Like his facial expressions, like the way he does stuff, I think is perfect for that role.
Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of like the Marvel movies, but I mean he was always fun in them.
I'm not a fan of Marvel movies, no matter who's in them. Like you could put Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery in it, and I'd be like, yeah, still not watching it.
Oh,
but that's just me.
You kind of it's called The Rock, and it's awesome.
That one,
and
I
you
know,
love it.
But, that's one of my all-time favorites. But if you put them in if you put them in it, we're like, oh, it's Captain America and Thor.
Right? Yeah, I don't care that he's a fat.
I don't care.
Those movies are flopping. I don't give a shit.
Suck. They haven't been good since the second Iron Man.
I after they culminated with the Thanos thing, I checked out. But no, he's good in it.
The female lead there, Quiet, is awesome too. Whoever plays
Stephanie Beatriz, she's great.
She's awesome.
The supporting
And
cast is
fucking hilarious.
is great. My boy Mike Mitchell from the Doughboys podcast. He plays Stu in it.
Stubby.
He's a Quincy boy too. He's a masshole.
Yep. He's awesome, dude. I love his character in this too. Like, because I love he's the one that doesn't want to kill, but then he's the one that ends up like being Sweet Tooth's right hand man. And like, so like the most violent killer in the whole fucking thing, and like he ends up being like his boy.
And he's kind of if Anthony Mackie is the soul of the series so far, then he is definitely the heart. Like, and you'll see why when you finish.
I mean, I'm probably gonna finish it tonight. I'm not gonna lie.
But he is kind of the moral compass.
I wanted to finish it last night, but I ran out of time. It was like almost 4:00 in the morning, and I'm like, all right, I gotta go to bed. I'm like, I gotta get up at some point tomorrow.
But they've been doing it. They've been doing it well. I gotta say,
doing it well.
Yes, I represent Queen. She's raised out of Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Hello, Cool J. Hell yeah. But
we can shoehorn that in there. We're good like that.
But now they introduced some new characters. I gotta say, right off the bat, fucking, they did Axel justice in terms of how he looks, and just how ridiculous the concept is. But they somehow
they kill the guy that makes him, and he's like, "Thanks, hated that motherfucker. Good looks," and just leaves.
And they do flesh out his character more. It gets better.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm like, for a show that I was like, I did not have high expectations for at all. I'm thoroughly impressed. I mean,
well, because it could have gone either way. It could have been really. I can't say it's amazing, but I can say it's very competent at a lot of things, and it's fun.
Listen,
but it could have been just complete garbage, and nobody.
Yeah, they could have missed big time with it, but they made it like violent enough, gory enough, and also like funny enough. You know what I mean? Like the dark humor in it is just beyond hilarious.
None of it really feels heavy-handed, and the story is actually pretty gripping at times. Like,
yeah, it's easy to follow.
It's a little tropey here and there, but they do get you to care about the characters, and you're like, oh shit, like what's gonna happen? So, that lends a lot to the scripts, all the writing, and the actors pulling it off. Like, again, Samoa Joe is the physical embodiment of Sweet Tooth, but Will Arnett is the voice. That's fucking perfect. It just works.
Really is just a great combination. And I don't know, Sweet Tooth, like that whole character, I always thought he was the fun. Like, I hate clowns. Like, it's one of my fears in life. Like, I just hate clowns. I think they're just like, no, don't need them. They don't need to exist. I fucking love Sweet Tooth. It's my favorite character in the whole show by far.
He was always one of my favorite to play in the games because his weapons were always just ridiculous and OP.
Yeah.
And he was kind of like one of the most fleshed out characters too, because he eventually was like the face of the franchise.
Right. Yeah. I remember it was either him or Axel were like the two. Like,
it was most Sweet Tooth kind of mostly became like the face of it.
Yeah. I mean, he was on the cover, I think for one of them. Forget which
most
one,
of them,
if not all of them, really.
At least featured in probably all. I mean, on the third one, which wasn't as good as some of the earlier two.
Isn't it funny though? Like looking back, like if you go back and look at the gameplay and like watch it, and we were like, wow, this used to be the pinnacle of video gaming. Like this was like the best graphics that video games had to offer at the time, and you're like,
on anything other than PC, and PCs even then back then weren't that beefy.
PCs were not that great back in 1996. Trust
and it
me,
wouldn't,
I had them.
And it
Command
wouldn't
and Conquer
run it.
Did not look that spectacular.
No, and it wouldn't even run it at those specs that the PS1 would, which wasn't even that good at the time. Well, I mean,
no, it was 128-bit, right?
Well, at the time it was, but like for now, you're like, this looks like dog shit. And
right, but like looking back now, it's just so funny what 30 years will do of technology, because like now it's like. I could go. I mean, I have so many options that look to make shit look real. Whether it's VR, my giant wraparound screen behind me, my $5,000 gaming PC that I built, like that runs, can run anything at maxed out graphics and just be like, whatever, dude, no big deal, and it's just funny, like, and then you watch the show, and the show looks so good. It's all everything's HD and everything looks so good. The details are great.
They did a lot of practical stunt work too with like the cars and everything. It's
Yep.
pretty interesting because on some of
Yeah.
those podcast episodes I listened to, uh, like they did a whole month of August where they had some of the cast members on the
Okay.
Doughboys podcast, and they were talking about how they had the some of the stunt drivers on their vehicles. They were riding. They call they were a pod driver, so
Mm-hmm.
their setup was on top of the car, and they had full control of the vehicle, and the actors inside the vehicle had to act like they were driving, like
No
mimic
shit.
the driving movements, and then obviously
Yep.
the for the exterior shots of the vehicles, the driver and his rig would be green screened out.
Right. But
But
yeah, it was
mhm.
it's just really well done. Like I'm really infatuated with it, and I'm looking. I can't wait to finish it. But also, I'm like, fuck, it's only 2 seasons. Like, why? Because I laugh, dude. Like when they raid the Diesel City and Stu like kills everybody in the little sex orgy thing,
Yeah.
and he's like, I committed my first massacre, and he's like, oh, Stubby. Good for you. I love that for you. And like Sweet Tooth like genuinely cares about Stu for some reason. And it's just like wicked funny because he'll just murder anybody for anything for no reason. But he's just like, oh, like he's trying to get Stu to like his level. And then like the Sweet Tooth backstory, like when they introduced, like showed you like why he became, like why he was put in the mental institution because of, the jealousy of his coworker, and then you find out it's a dog. He just murders the dog on TV. Like, oh shit! Like, I was not expecting that. So that was fucking hilarious. Like, it's this sweet little golden retriever, and he just goes ham sandwich on it with some sewing needles. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Which, yeah, they took some liberty. I mean, he's always kind of had a weird backstory. Like, they just kind of change it however they want. So, with that, I'm fine with it.
I thought it was great.
Overall, no, it's really fun. It's well produced. I will say, and again, I'm not going to spoil it since you're probably going to finish it tonight.
Mm.
By the end of the season, the second season, I was like, oh, that's kind of it. Like, that's where they're
Yeah.
going with it now.
Well, like I can only imagine, like, because there's so much more. Like the character development, like you said, is so well done throughout that you actually give a shit about them. Now there's so many characters,
Well,
whether
and-
it's like Mayhem or the little girl there, the little girl.
Mhm.
She's not little, it's the younger girl, and then Quiet, and then the sister, and the dolls and all this other stuff, and like. You're still looking for like I'm still waiting for what's her name there, the trucker girl to come back with the Indy car. There's, and I'm sure Stone's probably not dead. You know what I mean? So like, there's still more to this, I think, than
Yes, unfortunately, what happens is because of how many of those characters they introduced in this season
a lot of them die.
and the nature of where things are going. Yeah, I feel like you get ample time with most of them,
Mm-hmm.
but unfortunately, a lot of them you don't get
Enough time with.
enough. You get a taste, and you're like, oh, I'd actually like to know more about them, and then,
Well, they're dead. Yeah.
but
No,
that's the nature of the
happens.
series. I mean,
I didn't think everybody was gonna survive it, but I love the whole I just love the whole post-apocalyptic.
mhm.
And then the soundtrack is fucking fantastic too. Everything's just from like 2002 or earlier, and it's just awesome.
Yes, because it's sticking strictly to the timeline that they set up here, which is, society collapsed in the early 2000s. So no new music was being made. So everything that the main characters grew up with is the stuff that we grew up with essentially too.
Well, it is.
So it's a time capsule.
Like when they have to do their first thing for Calypso, and it's a Dragula by Rob Zombie. I was just like, this is perfect. Like you could not have put a better song to this scene.
I will say for the
just works so
most
well.
part they've hit nothing but home runs when it comes to licensing music for the right moments.
Oh, dude, so good.
They've all worked. There was one in season 2, I can't remember what it was, and I was like, okay, that I can see why they picked it. Wouldn't have been my first choice, but I'm not mad. I couldn't tell you what it was off the top of my head, but I was like, okay, yeah, I understand why, given the context.
When they're on their way back to New San Francisco, I think it was still season 1. When they're on their way back, and the little blonde chick tries to steal the package, the one that was jealous, that John Doe was with Quiet, and
Right.
and then the guy with the huge dick is just like smashing watermelons, which I thought was like just for like a throwaway scene that didn't need to be in the show. I thought that was absolutely fucking fantastic that they did that, and they like even like they like show it through the pants and everything. I'm like, yeah, this is awesome.
I
And then he
forgot
just,
about
like,
that
lobs a
because
watermelon. But
yeah.
then they play during the whole fight scene. They play "Party Hard" by Andrew WK.
Yes. Okay.
And it's just like, all right, Andrew WK had his moment there in 2002. This makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, and it was just funny because you're like, oh yeah, I forgot the king of partying, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I don't know. Everything about this show has just made me love it. And even if it's even if it doesn't get to a third season or whatever, like I'm sure like what I've already seen of it as it's made me a fan for whatever they do next because I can't get enough of it right now. Like only thing I'm bummed out about it is that I'm probably going to be finished with it tonight.
Yep.
And that just I'm like, damn. I'm like, I wish because like I wish the episodes were longer, but also I love the fact that they're only a half hour because you can just like squeeze one in real quick.
Yes, they are easily digestible. They're all paced very well. You know, there's enough time where they're, you know, doing exposition and, you know, character and world building. You get some more information and just enough action.
Yeah.
There's one
And, like,
episode you'll see that's a lot more slower paced, but then right into the next one, it's just balls to the wall. So it more than makes up for
nice. But yeah, I feel like sometimes you have to slow it down a little bit.
Oh, and you'll understand when you watch it and finish it. You'll be like, okay, you know, that made total sense why they did that there. Now I know more about these other characters, and yeah, now I'm more invested in them. And oh shit, now what's gonna happen?
Right.
So yeah,
but no, I loved the whole like. I just love everything, like, because you know it's funny. Like anytime you see like a post-apocalyptic movie like this, and I love to see like the way like other like people come up, the ways that people come up with, the ways that people think up, like how fucked up people would be if there was no rules, there was no laws, there was no due process, like there was no government. It was just like everyone's kind of fending for themselves. And I think because, like, you know, we've seen it, you know, we saw it a little bit, even got a glimpse of it back in 2020, you know, with people going absolutely animalistic over toilet paper, you know, in grocery stores.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you know, they always say you're only 3 missed meals away from complete anarchy. And I feel like that's true. And I love to see like the way that these writers and these directors like can portray how like fucked up people would be. Like when they capture Quiet and her brother in the beginning. Stone, and he, you know, he's like, all right, he goes, now you can either both die or you can make a decision and one of you can die. And then like the brother just blows his brains out.
Mm-hmm.
And like you're like, oh fuck,
you're like, I just met this guy and she doesn't
like,
talk.
Yeah, I'm like, what the shit? I'm like, god damn. I'm like, people are fucked up. I'm like, why can't you just like, you know, arrest them and throw them in a jail or like make them do community service or something? I don't know.
Oh, because
like,
that's not how this world works right now.
No, at all. And I thought that was, and it was fascinating. And I love Stone's backstory, how he was just like a pussy mall cop.
Yeah.
And then, you know, then he overcompensates by being like this fucking tyrannical, murdering psychopath at the end. Like, I just love it. It's just, dude, I love that like dynamic of like that like subgenre of movies or TV shows. Like, you know, Walking Dead hit on it early on. Like the first 2 seasons, they did a really good job.
Yeah, the show lost me after
season 3, dude. It just started to go down the shitter, and then
I think that's when I started losing interest.
Yeah, I choked down season 4, and then I had all of season 5 on my DVR ready to go and binge the whole thing, and I just deleted it. I was like, nope.
I think I watched till when they got to Terminus, and then they get caught. And that's the end of that season. And I was like, wait, so it's just going to be this scenario again, but now they're in a different location.
Yeah,
I was like,
right.
I'm
it's just the
done.
same shit, but they're in a different spot now.
I'm
done.
like,
all right. I'm like, at least like, you know, and like shows can get repetitive like that. Like Sons of Anarchy got pretty repetitive towards the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I don't think I finished that either.
How many more federal agencies can they dodge? How many more drug deals can go wrong? Like, how many more rival gangs are there? Like, what the fuck?
All right, they went to Ireland one year to get Jax's baby.
That was actually pretty cool. That was a great season.
No, that was a good one. That was before it got redundant.
it started getting a little redundant, and then they finished the show. They were like, I think I think Kurt Sutter recognized it enough that like he's like, yeah, we could keep this going, but like it's got to come to an end at some point.
Well, they
And I
already
feel
had
like,
Mayans as a spinoff in mind, so he's like, well, that's a whole nother story, so we'll focus on that.
yep, and they did it, and I think they juiced that they got every drop out of that fruit that they could. And then they ended it right, I think, at the very last possible moment that you could end it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they could have gone another season. And they end it. And it was honestly one of my favorite like TV series of all time. Like, I loved it. You know me, I talk about it all the time. I'm an asshole. Like, I don't watch TV at all. Like, the only reason the TVs even exist in my house is for live sports. If it wasn't for sports, I wouldn't have TVs because I just don't care. I'd rather be doing something constructive with my time rather than watching a TV show. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
outside
absolutely.
of like South Park and a couple other like appointment only,
Yeah, you don't feel like you need to be on top of like
no, like I don't need to like my wife just finished The Hunting Wives on whatever on Netflix or whatever, and everybody I've talked to was like, oh, it's really good, it's really good, it's so good, you'd love it, you should try it, give it a shot, you'd really love it. And I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, nah, because as soon as I sit down and I start watching it, I'm gonna be like, okay, but like also, I was really trying to work on my first 9 average in darts, or there's this really particular pool shot that I've been struggling with. Maybe I could go, practice that, or let me go get my putting green out and work on my putting a little bit, or let me go upstairs and race. You know what I mean? Like, or go work on my show, like go do something productive other than just sitting there mindlessly wasting time. I'm an asshole like that. I just don't do it. I don't watch movies. I don't watch TV shows really. And so for me to invest time in something like this is really hard. And Sons of Anarchy was one that I watched. I mean, I would come home from the bar because I think it aired on Wednesday nights, the new episodes.
I believe, yeah, it was either that or like Tuesdays. It
was one of the
middle
two.
of the week.
Yeah, and I remember I would get home from either work or running the Beirut tournament at Knuckleheads, and I would get home and be like, all right, new Suns, let's go. Like, and I would watch it, and I watched it religiously, and it was great. But that was one of the very few shows I've ever done that with. So for a show to make me do that, it had to have really pulled me in. Now, I'm not going to say it's like really good because I know everybody's got different flavors, and I don't like to be that guy.
Right, but it hooks in you enough where you were like, oh exactly. Shit, okay, I'm gonna follow this.
It was interesting enough to me. It got me early. I got invested in the characters, and then it was all downhill from there. And then once that happens, it's like, okay, the writing, Kurt Sutter was really good, so it was really easy. But same thing. Like, other than that, like, I mean, when my wife and I watched Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
we binged that over the course of like a couple of weeks. And I thought it was fairly overrated, you know what I mean? And not to say that it wasn't good. I just feel like the way people hyped it up and talked about it, I was like, really? Like, you thought that highly of it? Like, don't get me wrong, it was good, but I don't know. I didn't think it was like, oh my God.
I get what you're saying, and I was big into that show, although I didn't get into it until it was maybe like season 4 was about to air, and then I started catching up on it on Netflix because they got like the previous seasons to stream, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna start it from the beginning, and then if I like it, I'll continue on with the new season as it airs.
That's so
and
funny.
I was fucking hooked.
My wife and I did the exact same thing with Game of Thrones. It was like season 5 was about to start, and I just went out. It was the year we got it was 2015, February 2015. We got the 110 inches of snow in like 3 weeks.
Oh yeah.
And we were work was canceled. We were at home, and before the first storm hit, I went to Best Buy and I just bought the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones for no fucking reason. Never seen it, had no idea what it was about. Just bought the DVDs. Like, fuck it, we'll watch these. And my wife and I went through. I think we got through the first 4 seasons in like, I want to say a week.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like maybe 2 weekends total, because we would get Saturday. Because it snowed every Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And we were just home doing nothing, and it was awesome. But yeah, I don't do many shows like that where like I get invested in. But to wrap it, put a happy little bow on this, I am infatuated with Twisted Metal. I think it's a very rarely does somebody recommend something to me, and I'm like, wow, I've been missing out.
Well, it does seem up your alley because it's got cars, it's got crazy action, it's got good humor, and actually does have good characters.
The characters, the humor, and the dark humor is what makes it for me.
They found the right blend for it. If they were to have like a lower because obviously it'd be considered TVMA. If it were to be like anything lower than that, it wouldn't be able to be what it is because now it's not twisting. You're neutering the fucking IP of what it is, which is over the top, nonsensical violence.
Just nonsense.
Yeah, it's
like I love when like Sweet Tooth when Sweet Tooth just runs up behind somebody, he just goes machete, and it just like bursts through their chest from behind. You're like, yes, that was cool. Like the fact that he just announced it by saying machete. Yep. Hell yeah, dude.
Oh, and yeah, one last thing. Perfect casting for Calypso as well. I forget the actor's name, but he was on Barry. He's the guy with alopecia. Yes. Amazing character actor, and he's perfect for Calypso. He's just this like mysterious, weird fucking guy who apparently has powers.
Anthony Carrigan.
Yes.
He's the guy. He was in Barry.
Mm-hmm.
But what was the what else was he in? He was in something else that I've watched, which isn't much.
I watched Death of a Unicorn, which is more recent. He was in that. He was very good in that too, but he has a supporting role in that one.
No, if I recognize you, that means you were in some there's something specific that he was in. What's funny
is to see him because normally because of his alopecia. As an actor, apparently he does like kind of insist on, just owning it and like, oh, that's how my character's going to look too. But Calypso does have like longer hair, and to see him in a clear wig, it's like kind of jarring to see him with hair.
Yeah, I know, because now I'm looking at him bald and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like, maybe I'm thinking, I don't know. I've seen him before.
He's been in a lot of stuff as like a supporting role.
Yeah, for sure. But no, he's great. I'm looking forward to because like, Calypso obviously is, I'm just getting kind of introduced to him now at the point I'm at, so it's been pretty fun. Yeah, I was not expecting to have like pin straight long hair either, which I thought was hilarious.
He does look consistent with the character in all his iterations in the games. Like he's just this guy in a suit with that very silkenly like straight hair.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
see, I think that helps too. Is that I didn't really play the games that much outside of like a sleepover here at my buddy's house or two. When his mom would let us like rent, video games and
well, it doesn't hurt that you didn't because the show does a good enough job to set it up for anybody.
Yeah, and not only that, but like
unfamiliar?
there's no way for me to be really disappointed in it because I don't have any preconceived notion of what should be.
But there's plenty of fan service for the people that did, grow up playing the games.
That's what I'm gathering. Like, my brother was like, dude, just makes me want to play the game all over again. I'm like, really? I'm like, I remember you playing this game. He's like, I played the fuck out of this game. He's like, I beat all of them. I'm like, really? But my brother was more of like my brother has a much more diverse, how do I say it, taste than I do. Like, I will lock on to one thing and I will listen to, like, when it comes to like music, for example, like I can listen to the same song like 4 or 5 times in a row if I really like it. You know what I mean?
Same.
Like I could.
Oh yeah, I can if I do. I sometimes do that too.
Yeah, same. Like I could put on Master of Puppets and just listen to it over and over again. You know what I mean? And for like 4 or 5 times before I do it. My brother, like, he hates running shit back. He wants to listen to a song once and then doesn't want to hear it again for 9 months. You know what I mean? And same thing with like video games. Like he had a much more diverse like taste in video games. I was like, nope, I'm playing Madden, and that's all I'm playing. I don't give a shit that there's other video games that exist. I play Madden because that's all I care about right now. And I played Madden for years, and that was it. I don't think I stopped playing Madden until Halo 3 came out. And then all I played was Halo. And I didn't play anything else. And then I got into Call of Duty, and I didn't play anything else. And then I got back into Halo, and I didn't play anything else. Like,
well, that's not a bad approach because
I'm searching for other games to play, and I'm like, fuck, and now I'm playing iRacing. It's all I play, and I'm like, oh man, but like everybody's like, and now they're like, oh, I'm watching these guys play all these video games. Like I can't remember the one. I think it's called The Hunt, and a buddy of mine plays it, and I've been watching people play it, and it's like super audio based. So like the whole goal of the thing is to like get to an extraction point with your teammate, but like make no noise because you'll attract like demons or something, and other people who are trying to get the prize and get out with like the treasure, if you will.
Yeah, so
And,
it's like
anything
Escape from Tarkov, but with more of an auditory emphasis in terms of
like
the gameplay.
yeah, and you wanna like so like if you like break a twig and like a flock of crows takes off from a tree, like that gives away your position to somebody. And I'm like,
yeah, it's getting that in depth.
yeah, I'm like, that's kind of fucking cool. I'm like, and so like I watch other people play it, and I don't play it. Like I bought the Warhammer game, and I think I've watched people play it on YouTube, and I don't actually honestly I bought it and I never even opened it.
Oh, what?
I've
The
never even
Space
tried it.
Marine?
Yeah, my brother played it, beat it. He's like, dude, it's fucking awesome. You should try it. He's like, I wish it was longer. He's like, that was my only complaint. And I'm like, all right, cool. I haven't even opened it. It's still sitting on my desktop. I'm just like, yeah, I'll get around to it someday, I guess.
That's the problem I have too, because I have access to all these games now. It's just my backlog is absurd. So I glom onto something.
Conquer the original before I break open something new.
I mean, well, yeah, because you know exactly what you're getting into.
Yeah, or I'll go play, Command and Conquer 3, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go fuck up this base with the screen.
I mean, I try to stick to something that's more like more of a time sink when I can. Yep. But otherwise, I'm playing like pick up and play games that I can just jump in and out of, where progression isn't really a thing, unless it's meta. But yep, super into this game called Super Blood Hockey. It's like a 16-bit arcade hockey type game, and there's a shit ton of modes. The best is franchise, because I won't get too far into the weeds about where the game is set, because it's like this dystopian future, and you're running a hockey team, and they're all convicts, and you have to set up you have to buy them, and then you can train them up, and then they all have different positions and stats. There's like four different player types. And then they all have different attributes, and you just have to make it through the season, and ultimately win. It's like a single season thing for the franchise, but it's pretty in depth. It's like, oh well, this guy, he has too much brain damage. I need to bring that down. Well, what helps with that? Well, I can buy weed from the drug dealer, and that'll bring down his brain damage faster, but it'll also make him a pacifist, so he will not be good at fighting, because fighting is a big thing. It's like, if you can completely wipe out the other team, they can't play anymore, which takes a while to do. And it's always like, oh, he suffered a lacerated testicle, and like something ridiculous like that, like, and they're just gushing blood on the ice. And
I mean, that sounds fucking awesome. I'm not gonna lie, that does sound like a lot of fun.
You can juice guys with steroids. You set up their workout regimen, so you're putting stats into the areas where you want them to be better at.
That's a riot.
And it's not super like sim, you know what I mean, in terms of like, breaking down everything, but it scratches that itch of just enough of that, and the gameplay is arcadey and just pick up and play. And its presentation is fantastic. It's really good.
Nice.
Yeah, Super Blood Hockey. I believe it's on every major platform. I play it on PC, but I'm pretty sure it's on everything else.
Because we belong to the master race.
Well, I mean,
just
I play most of my online.
It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I might have to go on Steam later and just see if this is here and just give it a shot, because I mean, that sounds like a great time. Like, this week is a down week for iRacing too. So there's like, it's the in between seasons week. So like they're getting ready to roll out the next 13 weeks. For the season, and so this week is just like kind of nothing. Actually, I'm gonna check, see if there's even anything for me to do, anything fun.
Well, if anything, just to not get rusty, just
Oh, cool. 5 to go. It's a 5-lap shootout at Daytona. That looks like fun. They always throw like little wrinkles in here. Like they'll have like, so this season is obviously, this is the 5 to go thing. It's just 5-lap shootouts, so that's cool, because you can just run those back. You know what I mean? Like, real quick, every half hour you're just running one. And then like other times they'll have like what they call like a series, it's called Ridiculousness, and
Rob Dyrdek is hosting it.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's like they'll be like, okay, you can run a Cup car, a NASCAR truck, or a Mazda Miata, but you're all gonna race on the same track at the same time. It's like, and so like it goes by like class, like a GT cars would, but like you know, the obviously the cup cars and the trucks are doing 190 miles an hour. The Miatas are doing like 80.
Yeah.
So like they just get in the way, but it's unranked, so everybody's just crashing and dying, and it's fucking hilarious. Like it's just wicked fucking funny. I don't know.
Be great if the guy in the Miata, like, if you can see the driver is just clearly a man going through a midlife crisis. Like,
he's just sitting there. He's just like, yeah. So anyway, man, I just been really into Creed and Godsmack lately, and
listen, I bought this car before the fucking divorce.
Yeah, I was thinking.
She's not getting it because it's called a
Harley.
She's not getting it because it's called a Miata, not a Weata.
Yeah. I wish you could put like stories to people. I mean, there are probably plenty of people that I'm racing against, going through midlife crises. You know, I mean, I'm not the oldest guy playing, but I'm certainly not the youngest. So
right.
But it's funny. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, it's just a down week for me for iRacing, so I actually might have some time to kill this week while I'm up here. But
I can recommend that one.
I think about it, and I'm like, I'm not really going to have a shit ton of time because I'm going to work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I work 48 hours in 3 days, and then I'm off Saturday, Sunday, and then those are, you know, spoken for. So, and then Monday starts the new season. So I don't know when I'll actually. I actually probably wouldn't have a lot of time to do a lot of racing this week anyway. But neither here nor there.
Well, you're still an amazing racist.
I am. I am definitely that. Actually, I told my friend the other day. He's like, fuck you. He's like, you're racist as fuck. Like joking around because he's Asian. I was ripping on him for being Asian. And
yeah,
you
told him he can't drive.
Oh yeah, all the time. I was like, I'm surprised you made it here in one piece. And I was like, how many people did you kill?
Yeah, on your way here.
On your way here. And I was like, hold on, I'll just like throw like a metal spoon down the stairs and be like, is that what you named your daughter? Like, you know, and so like, fuck you. And like, they're not even like, you know, they're not like they're Vietnamese, not Chinese. So like, but always like, you know, make fun of them being Chinese. And no fucking Chinese. I'm like, we know. Shut up. Like,
are you Chinese or Japanese?
Yeah, exactly. We all know there's only two types of Asians. So but he was ripping on me. He was like, oh, you're racist as shit. This is that. Fuck you. And I was like, nah, man. I'm like, I'm not racist. I just stereotype like crazy. Like that's
and you say it about everyone, so it's fine. Like
yeah. And I thought
you rip on white people just as much. It's
oh my god, white people are my most hated demographic. Are you kidding me?
They are the most easily rippable on.
Middle-class, middle-aged white women are my most hated demographic. You're like, you're a misogynist. And I'm like, no, I'm a realist. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry to break the news to you that, you know, reality exists outside of the very thin layer of skull you have protecting your smooth brain.
And case in point, the upper middle-class, middle-aged white woman that went and like took the ball from that kid at a Phillies game the other night.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that? Like, I mean, could she have looked any more like Liz Warren? First of all, second of all, why is it everyone who looks like that is just a raging cunt? I just don't get it.
There's that look. It's just immediately you see it, you're like,
you're like, oh.
There's also the septum ring theory. Now, granted, she's an older woman, but there's older women who also have septum rings.
Are not always. They're a red flag. But they're not always, you know, there's not always something there. You know what I'm saying?
Not always, but I'd argue to say that it's more often than not. I'd say it's probably like 85%.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. I don't know what percentage I would put on it because I know a couple, like obviously females that have had them. I don't males. If a guy has a septum piercing, it's usually because he's a fucking he's either a drummer in a band or a tattoo artist, like, you know what I mean, one of the two, which is like, and they're usually cool people, so it's like whatever.
Yeah,
you know, it's like a couple of the guys that I play paintball with, like one of them, he's a drummer in a band, and this kid, he's fucking awesome. He's an amazing kid, and you know, he had a tattoo artist at his wedding that would do tattoos on the spot for free for anybody who wanted one.
Oh no shit!
Like at his wedding, like you were at the reception, you're like, want a tattoo? And you'd be like, okay, and you just do something on your arm.
Yeah,
right there. I was like, that's. I'm like, and my buddy's telling me about that, and I'm like, that, like knowing what little I know about the kid. You know, I've only met him maybe like a half a dozen to a dozen times, and hung out with him very little, and only know him through like playing paintball with him. But like, I'm listening to him talking, I'm like, that makes sense. Like that adds up to me. Like I'm seeing that. I'm seeing where you're coming from with that. But when it comes to females, it's either because like it's the age old, it's the crazy hot scale,
Yes.
and like septum piercing can be like crazy hot, but you can't say crazy hot without crazy. Crazy, and the emphasis on the crazy, it's tough, but yeah, you're right. They always almost all seem to have like a standard look, like especially the Liz Warren look. Like if I see someone that looks like Liz Warren, I
That
don't care
haircut, yeah.
like I'm like immediately I'm like,
that
fuck
7-year-old boy's haircut that
Yeah.
middle-aged women insist
Like,
on having.
Yep. I'm like, you suck. I don't even know you, and you suck.
But
and
yeah,
just
not
fuck you.
surprised that she did that. There was
No.
also the video of that guy that also did it to a kid too. Like it's if
Listen,
you're
dude,
an
if you
adult
go-
and you're there and you happen to get
Yeah.
a foul or a home, if there's a kid next to you, you give the fucking ball to the kid. Like unless you're there with your own kid.
Right. The first thing
But
I
if
would
you're-
do if I catch a foul ball or a home run ball, the first thing I'm doing, unless it's like, Derek.
Oh yeah,
Jeter's
like Barry
3,000
Bonds, like record setting, I'm
okay,
keeping that.
sorry, kid, but I'm holding on to this one.
Oh yeah, I'm out there in a
First thing I'm
kayak
doing,
in the fucking bay, and I'm fucking.
Yeah, I'll scuba dive for this shit.
Yeah, I'm trying to
But,
drown
like,
some other guy for it.
I'm like the first thing I'm doing is looking around for a kid to give it to. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And
Yeah, what am
love
I
the
gonna do
video.
with it? It's just gonna go in a box or somewhere.
Yeah. Like I love that video from a couple years ago where that the kid had to have been like 12 or 13 years old. He was young. He looked like, or maybe even younger. And he catches the foul ball, and then he just walks over and hands it to like the girl who's like probably like 5 to 10 years older than him, like the hot blonde chick sitting behind him, and just hands it to her, and he's like, here you go. And her and all her friends are like, oh my god, like they're all dying laughing because this kid's just like, this kid's sneeze was out of control.
Dude, that's Squints from fucking Sandlot. That's
bro,
that's
I'm
a power move.
This kid's going places, bro. Like this dude was just
he married that chick.
Like, yeah, no shit. Like right, fast forward, like he turned 21. And he's like, "What's up? Remember me? Like,
remember that ball?
I'm a man now. Like, no, but it's funny. But like, yeah, that lady like stealing that ball from that kid was fucking atrocious, dude. Like, what a cunt. And I guess she got like forced to resign. I guess like she worked for like a school system or something, district. Or...
So somebody that works in a school system. I don't care to what capacity, whether you're directly involved with the children's education, or if you're administration. You of all people should know that this is going to be a bad look for you if you act the fool. It just give the ball to the kid.
Yeah, let the kid.
And didn't she make like a really bad apology attempt too?
Yeah, like the Mel Gibson, apologizing to the Jews and Family Guy, like that level apology.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm really, really sorry about your big noses.
I'm really sorry you're less athletic than a middle-aged Karen.
Yeah.
And you couldn't get to the ball before I did.
I feel really badly about your underhanded, undercutting ways.
Yeah.
But like that was like that bad. But yeah, it was like it was pretty funny though. I laughed. I mean, I'm like, because it's crazy. Like these days, like I don't understand what people don't understand, that when you do something like that, there is 1,000 cameras on you. Everything you're doing is being filmed, and like whether
now
you're
everything
right or not.
As soon as it happens, it's gonna be on social media one way or another. And it's not like back before we had phones, camera phones, capable of live streaming and or just putting it up there immediately after you take the footage. It would take a few hours for that to come out and then be released on the internet or broadcast on television.
And not for nothing either, but like even if you go back 15 years ago, right? Like to 2005. If you did that in 2005, like everybody had camera phones and shit. But it was like a process to upload that to a computer.
Well, that would be 20 years ago, but yes.
Oh, right. Yeah, 20 years ago. Sorry. 2010. Even still, 2010. It was still a little bit of a process. Not as much, but a little bit of a process. You know what I mean? Like you actually had to do it, and like had to be like you had to have some willful purpose behind you to do it, and I don't think these, like that, and then not for nothing either, but like the platforms weren't as big. Now I feel like you put that up on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook Reels or something, it can go viral in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And the one thing I've noticed, and like we did this the other day, and I made this mistake the other day, is like I posted a picture of some damage that had been done to some property of mine. I can't say too much about. But I had some damage done to some of my property, and I had posted a picture of it on Facebook, and asked a specific expertise, a group of supposed experts, how much damage this would cause, and is this irreversible, and what level of damage am I looking at? And all I got was lectures of like, well, why did you do this, and why didn't you do that, and this wouldn't have been a problem if you had done this instead. And I'm like, that's not what I came here for. Like, nobody gave me the answer I was looking for. They just wanted to lecture me and tell me what a dumb, like, how I could have prevented this situation in the first place. I'm like, and they're like, well, if it's not on your property, it doesn't matter. I'm like, no, it is on my property. Like, did you miss that? Like, in the freaking beginning of the post, like, no one reads anything. They just look, they see clips, phrases, they make an assumption, and then that's it. Once that
it sounds like you were on Reddit.
It's pretty much pretty much what it turns into. And I'm like, no, I'm like, that's not. So I ended up like just deleting the post anyway and just being like, fuck that. Like,
yeah, okay, I don't need anything to do with this.
I don't need any validate. Like, and the thing was like, I didn't go there seeking validation from anybody.
You wanted some answers.
Yeah, I was asking a very black and white question. And but everybody just assumes that, like, I'm like, I don't need you on my side, okay? Like, I'll let the law be on my side. Like, that's all I need, and I'll go from there. So, which I already know it is, and fuck you. But like, people are so fucking quick to judge and be judgmental and not know, like, or not even like attempt to understand the issue at hand. And it's like, are you just being obtuse for the sake of being obtuse? Like, are you trolling, or are you really this dumb? And
I think it's more often than not the latter. They think that they're doing the former, but they're not.
Yeah, I think a lot of it now is just come down to, you're dumb. And I see it all the time, especially with political stuff. Like these anti-Trump people, all these people who suddenly all these people with the they had the I stand with Ukraine pics in their flags in their bio. All of a sudden, a Ukrainian refugee gets fucking murdered in cold blood on a train in Charlotte, and suddenly they're nowhere to be found. They're like, oh, we stand with Ukrainians, but not that one. Fuck her. She had it coming.
Yeah, maybe because they don't like the narrative that it sets up of how they're basically wrong about everything, and that Charlotte's answer to this is going to be, well, this is because we need more reform in our law enforcement policies, and this is why we need better psychological care for everybody. And it's like, this guy was a revolving door, repeating a violent offender. Yes.
14 times he'd been arrested. And a judge let him walk, knowing that he was a violent and potentially violent and dangerous individual. Let him walk on cashless bail. And now a 23-year-old Ukrainian woman is dead, and you can actually hear on the audio of one of the videos him saying, like, I got that white bitch.
Yeah, like, clearly I don't know that this man's mental state. Based on his record, I don't think he's stable at all.
No, I mean,
I don't think he's fit for society.
He's not fit for society. Wood chipper, feet first. See you later.
At the very least, he just needs to go away.
Yeah, there's
however you want to do that.
Left in this man.
I don't really care.
And I love this, and I see this all the time with my job and everything, right? And they're like, oh, we want to reduce recidivism, and which is recommitting. It almost never happens. You get these people, they get out, they come in, they like, doing jail time to them is like a badge of honor to most of them, to a lot of them, I should say, not most, a lot. Like, they get in, they do their time, they're like, oh, I was at the max, or I was here, and I was there, and I did this, and like, they brag about it when they get out. Like, it's like they're like, I'm tough, I was in jail, I was in prison, and I survived, and now I'm back out, and I'm hardened because of it. And you're like, no, you're dumb, dude. Like, you're an idiot. Like, you're just.
Yeah.
Not,
wait. Why'd you end up there in the first place?
Like,
oh yeah, you did something really fucking terrible and stupid.
Yeah, and like, it's like, what you're doing is nothing to brag about, man. Like, you're a degenerate. You're a drain on society. And like, I mean, don't get me wrong. There are plenty of degenerates who aren't drains on society. You happen to be one. That's the problem. But like, you get this guy who in Charlotte, whose name I can't remember off the top of my head, but he just this poor girl is sitting on this train on her way home from whatever. She's got her earbuds in and she's looking at her
She
phone.
was on her. She worked at a pizza place. She was wearing her uniform. Like,
yeah, and he pops up from behind her with a knife and just fucking. I mean, it was honestly it was something straight out of a fucking movie. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, who does that to someone?
the fact that nobody did anything.
That was what I think bothered me the most.
I understand people getting frozen in fear and being like, maybe I'm not equipped enough to take care of this clearly insane man. But at the same time, it's like, how did nobody try to, like, confront him in any way? Like, I understand in the heat of the moment, like, maybe I wouldn't either. But
I don't know.
Not one person.
I can't say what I would do in that situation because I think, again, like I think when you see something like that happen, the shock of it is so insane.
It's completely unprovoked, out of nowhere. There was no altercation that led to this. He just did it.
This girl's minding her own business
from behind,
just
which is even worse. She had no idea it was going to happen.
No, he's a straight coward. He's a dipshit coward. I hope he dies in jail. Honestly, and I hope he lives a very long life in prison behind bars. But you know what? Then again, I don't know, because he'll probably think he'll probably go in bragging about it, like, I'm a murderer. I murder people. I kill for fun. You know what I mean? Like one of them. And I love those guys. I love interacting with them. Those are my favorites. They're very easy to get going, but nonetheless, those are stories for off the air. But
right. And for your book.
Yes, man, my book, yeah. But no, that was one of the most savage, Neanderthal,
completely senseless,
just no fucking point. And I wasn't even going to mention it, but because I feel like it takes a little bit of the sheen off of it, or a little bit of the seriousness away from it. But it always sucks a little bit more when they're hot. And this chick was fucking hot.
Aspiring model,
gorgeous, dude. And I'm like, really?
Just working at a pizzeria to make ends meet while she's, getting her headshots out there, going to auditions probably.
Yeah, and escaping war in her war-torn country that Joe Biden allowed to happen. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
I'm like, fuck you, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying if she was ugly, it would be any less sad or outrageous, but
yes, to make that clear, we aren't saying that because folks here at the adult table, we care.
Yeah, we do. We genuinely care. Even the fat ones. Even the fat ugly ones. It's fine. But no, I'm dead. But dead ass serious. Like, it's like what the what possesses a human being to just take another human being's life for absolutely no fucking reason other than just I felt like it. And I get it. Those people have been around since the dawn of time, and there's a reason why we have prisons and shit like that. Like, this wasn't accidental. It was premeditated. Like, this guy's going to go to jail probably for life, especially now that the federal government, like the president is tweeting about it, for Christ's sakes.
It depends how they want to handle the premeditated, because was he going to do it just to whoever sat in front of him next?
He paced around the train for a good bit. Then he sat down behind her, looked at her, and then just stood up and did it. I mean, I don't know what else. Like, was it premeditated? Like, he got on the train with the intent to kill her? No,
right.
But he definitely had a couple of minutes to think about it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, he had time to ponder it for sure. But that will be the defense's argument.
Yeah.
Well, you can't say when he actually decided to do it. So how premeditated? So we're not looking at first degree. It's like, right. No matter how you slice this is. There's no defense against this. It's just the footage is there, and you see his face the entire time. It's multiple witnesses could point him out. He's a repeat offender.
This isn't going to be a case of mistaken identity. It's like, just because all black people look alike. It's like, no, dude. We know who you are. We saw the knife, the blood dripping from your knife after you did it. Like, this poor girl is left mutilated in her fucking train seat for no reason.
That could have been some of his own blood. He likely did cut himself while stabbing. That happens a lot in stabbings when it's like a frenzy like that.
Sure. Yeah,
which is
you
why
know,
it was still like
knife slips
dripping
out of
as
your-
much.
knife slips out of your hand, you get your fingers or something like
But
that. You know,
I mean, it very
whatever.
well could have been a good amount of her blood as well, unfortunately. But yeah, he left
I
a
mean,
trail.
yeah. I mean, but it was pretty gruesome and it was pretty awful. And it's like, man, like when Elon Musk is like, you know, tweeting about it and being like, why isn't the mainstream media covering this? You know, and it just goes to show you that if Elon hadn't have bought Twitter, shit like this would never make it out. Like you
Well,
would
not
never
on that
hear about it.
platform.
No, it'd be shut down on everything. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, like all of it, because I mean Facebook owns Instagram now too, but like even the Zuck has had to go to the White House and answer for his transgressions.
Well,
You know what I
we
mean?
brought
Like-
this up last week because it happened the week before, right? You know, a day or two after we had that week's episode. The shooting at the school / church.
Right.
It was no longer in the news last week when we last talked.
It's
And
certainly
now
out of the
it's
news
even
now.
definitely not anymore. And you know what? Exactly why? Because the perpetrator doesn't fit the narrative of the left and what they perceive as America in the world right now as
Right,
being
because
chaotic
to them-
because of Trump and his followers. When we're not the ones doing any of this fucking shit.
No,
And if we are, it's not
want to. You know,
like
it goes
this.
back to Joe Biden that you know, white supremacy is the biggest threat to America. And I'm like, well, I thought it was climate change. You know what I mean? Like, what happened to that? Wasn't it climate change a week ago? Now it's white supremacists and also I'm like, what? Like,
Oh,
what
it's
are you-
the
what are you
outrage
talking
du
about?
jour. It changes, you know,
Yeah.
almost as frequently as the weather here in
Well,
Massachusetts.
like you said, you got Ed Markey out there saying that heat kills more people every year than anything else. We need to reduce the heat, and it's too hot. And it's like, well, here's an idea. How about you stop putting these fucking windmills up? Which I don't know if you saw the article. I think came out today. It said that like windmills account for less than I think like 10 or 5% of the power grid in Massachusetts.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
It does
It's-
nothing, which I mean, I know that. I worked in renewables and we always used to laugh at the wind people. You know, these people that wanted to put like wind turbines on their property, and we're like, why? Like,
No,
no,
it doesn't do much of
trust me, you don't.
anything. Not enough to justify the cost and upkeep. And then
No.
when they do break down, they're not biodegradable at all. There's that
Nope.
one offshore last year that broke,
Yep.
and
It's just been washing up on the beach all year.
Yeah, on the islands.
Yeah.
Ever since, and it's like
Yep.
big chunks of it. It's all like fiberglass bullshit or some other.
But but the thing is, like, you have like somebody like Ed Markey, who might be one of the dumbest people in politics, right? And we have,
He's up there.
you know, Massachusetts. We have heavy representation in the realm in the retard ring. You know, whether it's Ayanna Presley, Liz Warren,
We
Ed
got some heavy
Markey,
hitters.
you know, Mayor Wu, you know, whoever you want, you know, they just and they all got a little D next to the name. Jamie Eldridge, another one who I can't fucking stand. Con loving piece of shit, but whatever. My point is, Ed Markey goes up there, like he opens his mouth and he says stuff, and we're like, and he just, I'm like, you have to remember, 5 years ago, you told us that if you don't put this piece of cloth over your face, we're all gonna die. If you don't stand 6 feet apart, we're all gonna die. If you don't walk this way up the proper way up an aisle in the supermarket, we're all gonna die. And like, there's still people that believe that shit and think that that was actually accurate and correct. And that, you know, the reason why COVID is surging now in certain areas is because, well, the unvaccinated. Well, what about the vaccinated? Why are all the vaccinated people getting COVID? Isn't that what a vaccine's supposed to do?
Well, they
You know?
get it, but they just don't get it as bad. But sometimes they do.
But sometimes
Because ultimately, it doesn't fucking matter.
And then they're like, oh, but that's the unvaccinated's fault, because if they didn't, if the strain was able to mutate within their unvaccinated body.
It's always gonna. It's the fucking flu. It's
yeah,
the fucking flu, everybody.
It's just so stupid.
In case
I mean,
you didn't know,
remember,
it's the fucking flu.
don't forget that these are the same people that, like, you know, told you don't go outside and get fresh air and be outside. They told you, no, stay in your houses, stay enclosed, where it's easier to contract the disease. Don't go outside where the sun
Yeah,
will
don't put
kill it.
yourself
Don't-
out there
Don't do any of that. Oh, remember when they
gaining
put
antibodies.
those
Like,
little fucking those little tents over the orchestra people so they could play in their own little enclosures, or they put the masks on the woodwind instrument kids, but they cut the holes in them so they could
yeah.
still
So
play their
what's
instruments.
it's completely dude. That's
I mean,
idiocracy right there. That's
it
like,
was just go back to 2020 and all you have to do is realize that everything they've ever told you is completely fucking bullshit. And yet you still gobble it up every single time a dickhead like Ed Markey comes out and is like, well, we need to reduce the heat in our climate because that's what's killing people. How about you reduce the price of electricity in our state, by getting rid of these stupid fucking boondoggles with these windmills and actually build some fucking power plants, reduce the amount of electricity in the state, and then we can afford to put air conditioners in. And oh my God, look at that. We won't die from the heat. Holy shit. You know what I mean? And then you look at the numbers and they're like, oh, all these people are dying from heat. I'm like, where's the bodies, bro? Where's the bodies? And they're like, well, it affects the homeless. I'm like, I don't care. Sorry. I'm like, I don't give a shit about the junkies living in tents under Route 18. Like, they can go fuck themselves. Like, whatever.
sorry,
Figure it
sorry.
out.
Like, that's
I'm not sorry, dude. I'm tired. Empathy, like, I have empathy to a degree. But once there is a point of diminishing returns with empathy, and empathy then becomes weakness, and it clouds your judgment.
Yes.
It doesn't allow you to make
we've discussed that, and I agree. Yeah, it becomes where it is a weakness to some people, to their own detriment. Yeah, to their own detriment often as well. Where now they're being taken advantage of because they just want to be viewed as.
And I have no problem
such
being
a nice
person that lacks empathy in a situation that requires a pragmatic approach. That requires logic and common sense and critical thinking.
They think empathy trumps every other natural instinct that you have.
Well, they do. The liberals do. They think it's because empathy is currency to them because they can go online and tell everybody like, look at what a good person I am. I cared. I put a Ukrainian flag in my bio today because I actually care. And it's like, oh, so what are you doing beside it? Well, I put the flag in my bio, in my profile picture. Yeah, but like, are you donating your time, your money, your resources, anything like that? Are you trying to help? Oh, God, no, I don't have time for that. I have to go to work and take care of my family first. It's like, oh, okay. So it is your family first. Right. Got it. Okay. But everybody else
same with
be taking care of all the other people.
Same with them being overly altruistic about, illegal immigrants and also like the Palestinians. It's like, well, why aren't you hosting any Palestinian people in your home or people from other countries that are here illegally?
I have a communist.
Why aren't you doing that?
Sympathizing cousin, and I don't unfollow her on social media just because I want to see what like ridiculously stupid shit she posts every day.
You still got her there for the lulls, right?
Oh yeah, I just sit there and I'm just like, oh my God, they would chop your head off, and you'd be the first one. Like,
the funniest is when you see anybody that's like, specifically trans, but also LGBTQ plus, the Alphabet Coalition, any of them that are pro-Palestine. It's like, wow, you really don't get it.
You just don't.
You just hate Trump so much. You'll just and just America in general.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Like
so much that you'll be on a side of a group of people that would like immediately kill you.
I mean, within seconds of meeting you.
That best case scenario, they don't torture you first.
Yeah,
but they probably will.
Probably, definitely. I mean, and listen, I may have said it on the show. Maybe I've not. I mean, Islam is 7,000 years behind the rest of the natural world. Like true Islamists, like Muslims, I have no time or patience for them. None at all. I will tolerate a lot in life. I do not tolerate people who seek to destroy other people based on what a book or a fable tells them to. And they believe it so hard, and it's like, okay, cool. That's cool. But if I believed Christianity and I wanted, to push Christianity the way that they push Islam, I would be labeled as a bigot and a zealot and all this other shit. And I'd be an asshole and like keep your fucking beliefs to yourself, dickhead. You know what I mean?
You want another Crusades, Joey?
I would welcome another crusade tomorrow. I would sign up in a heartbeat. Where do I get my chainmail, my armor, and my sword? Like,
dude, I'm not religious, and even I'm behind that. Even I'm like, you know what?
Can we please go to Minnesota, like right now?
I would just be down to see it happen, and because I don't have a dog in that fight whatsoever, I'd just be like, hey, you guys go, like.
I'm not a religious person by any means. Like, I don't feel like I belong to any one particular religion at all. I don't align with a lot of them. Like, I don't agree with a lot of them. I agree with, obviously I was raised Catholic, and I believe that it was more, I use it as more of a guide, than to be taken literally, which I think is tough for a lot of people to do. I don't know why. And hey, listen, man, if your faith is your faith, that's cool. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Do your thing. Don't push it on me, whatever. Like, and that's fine.
Ultimately, that's what they do fundamentally are about. But then it can get become extrapolated depending on who's preaching and how they're preaching it.
Exactly.
It can be said about all of them.
But like I've read enough about Islam to know that it is.
Mm-hmm.
It has no place in modern society, at least in Western civilization. None.
I can agree with that. At least for the hardcore fundamentalist followers of it, yes, they are.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
When the Quran says you must kill all
behind
non-believers, it means you must kill all non-believers. And they're like, well, that's not exactly what it says. Nope, that's exactly what it says. Like, there's no hiding that. And they tell you, and they encourage you to be deceitful, lie, do all these different things to infiltrate the non-believers, and in order to gain their acceptance and destroy them, as quickly and efficiently as you can. We're seeing it happen in the UK right now. Like, it is.
Oh, yes.
And Britain is
Without
fighting
a
back
doubt.
in a big way. Like, the British people are starting to rise up all over that country, and they're
Ireland
fucking
as
sick
well.
of it.
They've had enough of it.
But again, I mean, it was right after World War II. I forget who it was that said it. It said our next great war, next great enemy. It won't be, a country like Germany or Italy or Japan. It'll be the religion of Islam. And we were warned about it in the 50s, and it's only gotten worse. And it's true. Look at Iran before the 1979 whatever, or 70 whatever it was, revolution. You know what I mean? It was popping, dude. Tehran was popping. It was like Vegas. You know what I mean? Like, there was sluts everywhere. It was awesome.
Yeah, they were wearing mini skirts and go-go boots. Iran was a happening place.
It was. And now, like, you go over there and they're like, you showed an ankle, stoned her to death. Like, but dog, that's my wife. And they're like, here's the first stone, sir. Your wife's a whore. And he'll be like, yeah, she is, stupid bitch. Like, how dare you show an ankle in public? You're like, wait, really? That's
dude. What was so funny, like 2 or 3 years ago, when WWE signed like the big multi-year deal with fucking Saudi Arabia to have events there.
Yep.
They're doing a promo package for the show. It's during the show, and they're like, look how far Iran's come since. The last time Saudi Arabia it came before we last gave a shit. And they're like, women can drive now. I mean, they still have to cover all their bodies besides like their face.
But they're allowed to drive, and you're like,
but they can drive again.
And you're like, really? Like, I don't know, man. That sounds kind of backwards. Sounds like you should have just let them uncover and still prevent them from driving. That seems like it would have been a safer decision to not let women.
And then,
but whatever.
And then the insult to the injury. Yes, exactly. 100%.
Just piss off every female listener.
You're not wrong.
It's like one girl.
The insult to the
you know what? I don't like these guys anymore.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. We lost another Karen.
What
shall we do?
I was with him about Islam until they said females can't drive. Now I'm just nope. I'm not gonna do that.
I just
damn,
couldn't
we lost a real one. Fuck.
Damn. Thought she was the one.
we're just like Islam. We're self-destructive.
Yes, but yeah, insult to injury. After they show that is so they weren't even going to allow the women to be on camera,
Mhm.
like, or perform. But then they came to an agreement with the company. They're like, all right, well, what if they all wear bodysuits? Like their faces will be exposed, but their entire upper and lower body are covered by fabric. Like there's you
Right.
can't
Right.
like it's still kind of tight, but it's not revealing. Uh, and fine, and that's how they have to do it now, and have ever since. It's like you guys are just.
It's just so backwards, dude. And the funny thing is, like my communist cousin, she's all pro Palestine and shit like that. And I'm just like, you've never made it out of the world, out in the world, have you? I'm like,
Anybody that
little
I'll
ivory
use
tower,
that-
little sanctuary, you know?
right, and I'll use
like,
that
and
as
I
a
get it.
segue.
I get, listen, before you jump into that, like I get like wanting to see the good in people, but you got to be realistic about it. If we could pave Gaza tomorrow and
I would.
eliminate 100% of Palestine, I would not be against that. Just saying. And that's not to say like I'm an outright supporter of Israel and everything they do either.
Yeah,
You know?
no, I don't like either
I
side
definitely-
really. To be
I definitely
fair,
got some. I've definitely got some beef. I could, some bones to pick with them as well. But they're like, they're committing genocide against the Palestinians. I'm like, well, can they pick up the pace? Like, what are we waiting? Like, hurry up! Like,
how many
more
of you
there?
are left? This happened. This started almost 2 years ago. Like what?
Yeah, like I mean, year two, it's like fucking 50. Like Jesus Christ, like.
Well, yeah, I mean, as far as like the more why this is currently happening now.
Yeah, I
like,
know, right? Yeah.
Other than
right.
all the rest of the history.
Yeah. All that. It's like, well, can you guys like just finally just can like Israel just go fucking rip the Band-Aid off. Just go get rid of all of them. Please.
Well, just like exactly, I'm right there with you, and just like how people would support a terrorist organization like Hamas so easily, and just out of defiance for the United States, despite most oftentimes being citizens of this country,
Which is wild.
they will also defend Venezuelan narcos.
Right. It's just hilarious to me. Like I almost died laughing when I saw Brian whatever Krasenstein brother, those little twink fucks.
Oh, those.
They're
One of
just
them
such
pops
little-
up on my X, and I'm like, which one of the 5'3" dipshits is this?
Yeah, the little manlets that love to pretend like they're down the middle, normal Americans, and it's like,
No, they're not.
You guys
They're
are liberal fags.
Little twin twinks.
Yeah. And what was it? One of them was like, Venezuelan narco boats, they're criminals. It's not an act of war what they're doing. And we're like, yeah, they had enough drugs on their boat to kill 100,000 Americans. Sounds like war to me.
Yeah, and not to mention the obvious human trafficking that comes along with them
Also,
doing what
yes.
they're doing as well. Like they're into a lot of bad shit.
Yeah, and I love the fact that Trump authorized the military to basically exterminate anything coming out of Venezuela that's like cartel related. And
Oh yeah, when he was talking about well, because there were like Venezuelan planes
yeah,
that were dispatched,
our
but they
warship.
didn't come close. Yeah, they didn't really fuck with us that much, right? Because they would have gotten
no, they
Obliterated?
they flirted with it. Like they got into like I think they came into like somewhat restricted airspace. They were given a warning and told to fuck off, and they did.
and
then Trump told them like if they do that again, just shoot them down.
Yes, I did see him say that. He's just like,
Shoot
yeah,
'em
whatever.
down. Shoot 'em down. Get rid of him. He goes, you want to send a vet? You want to fuck with us? Guess what? Just remember, we're America, and we can wipe you off the map before you can even say I surrender. So don't forget that. And I love the fact, though, again, and this is what I'm loving about this Trump presidency so far, is he is taking 90-10 issues and forcing the hardcore Democrats to defend the 10%, like to defend the losing side. And it is going to make the November elections in 2028, at least it should, make them a slam dunk for J.D. Vance to just dunk on whoever the Democrats decide to throw out there, which I pray to God is Jasmine Crockett and or AOC, because it would just be beautiful to see one of those two nitwits have to actually try to run for president. Especially the fake ghetto girl and Jasmine Crockett, like, which just cracks me up.
I dislike her more than I dislike AOC. Uh,
Oh, they both
Something
suck.
about Jasmine Crockett, just the way she handles herself is just so displeasing to me. Uh, it's like
Yeah,
if
she's
I was in a position like hers, I mean, shit. When I've had to go to court, I wear a goddamn at least dress shirt and tie, if not a full suit and tie, and I'm there, and I don't talk like that. Like Jesus Christ.
oh my god, the faux ghetto talk. Because like if you listen
Well,
to
she
her like a
never
couple
used to
years,
talk like that.
yeah, you go back 2 years ago and listen to her, you're like, oh, she talks, she basically talks like a female Obama. You know what I mean? And what did everybody always say about Obama? Like, oh, what do you like about Obama? Oh, he's so well spoken. Which is just code for he doesn't talk ghetto. He's a black man that doesn't talk ghetto, and that really
Dude, it's
resonates
Dave
with me.
Chappelle's white guy impersonation.
Exactly.
That's Obama, basically.
It's Chuck Taylor.
Well, you
Yep.
know,
Yep.
just gonna
And
be here with hope and change and hope
yeah,
that
don't
works.
don't you look at that. That is the bane of your existence, sir. Just remember, you run the goddamn world. You know what I mean? It's like the Chuck Taylor
See,
voice.
that's exactly it. I mean,
Yeah,
he kind of called it before.
he did.
Before-
He really did. I mean, God, you want to talk about comedians that were ahead of their time? Dave Chappelle, like, take a bow, bud. But
Yep.
no,
Still
it's just
great.
Jasmine Crockett. She's just she tries to portray this like uppity ghetto bitch type routine, I guess, and it's just like it's so unflattering and so unbecoming. And it's like, listen, man, like I know politics is a joke. I know it's all an act. I know all this stuff. But you know what? The last thing I want to hear is that. You know what I mean? It's like when AOC breaks into character, depending on who's around. And I'm
Yeah.
like, and no, don't get me wrong. I would still hate fuck the shit out of AOC. Can't say the same for Jasmine Crockett. Don't think she's that cute. AOC, I would definitely hate fuck her. But, nonetheless, neither here nor there. At least like when AOC's like when they do that like that fake when she's sitting there and she's like she gets the fake like Puerto Rican accent when she's around Puerto Ricans, and you're like, what the fuck, like you never talk like that, what are you doing, like what are you doing?
Yeah.
And it's just again, but people like you and I and normal rational thinking free thinking people will look at that and they'll say, okay, she's clearly trying to play a part. She's
It's
clearly
pandering.
just trying to pander to whoever she can.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Ted Cruz, he might be doing the same thing, but at least he's doing it in his one style. You know what I mean? Ted Cruz isn't, he doesn't go to New York and stop be like, hey, where's Paula and Donna? Let's go get some hot dogs. It's like, no, he's still Ted Cruz from Texas. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just feel like the way that these politicians have polished themselves into speakers and actors has become so blatant and transparent that it's just become it's a joke. And I think that's honestly what a lot of people hate about Donald Trump is that while he was the one that was on TV and he was doing the acting and playing the parts,
Well, he's been doing the
realest
same
one.
thing this whole time.
He's the realest one out of all of them. But could you
Yeah,
imagine?
he doesn't pander to anybody in terms of like trying to mimic them. Like
No.
he's just like, hey, this is how I talk. Always have, Back in the 80s, the art of the deal.
That's exactly it. And could you imagine if Donald Trump had like the speaking, like the public speaking and vocabulary abilities of like, say, like George Bush, right? Like, like George Bush would like, when he's like, and we encourage all nations to fight against terrorists and nations that are harboring terrorists. Now watch this drive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if Trump could speak like George Bush, because like I remember like obviously with 9/11 coming up this week, like everything's coming back, like all the clips and everything else, and like
Yeah.
while George Bush might be one of the worst presidents we've ever had, or was not at least not a good president, he was one of the most,
he wasn't good.
he was one of he was probably the best leader for that situation. In that situation at the time, I mean, looking back at it, obviously, I think
he
could've-
would have been better than Gore. Yes.
like, yeah,
ultimately.
could you imagine anybody else in that situation? No, he grabbed America and like he basically made us like, I'll never forget that like sense of unity when sports came back after 9/11. Like there was no black, white, Asian, this, that, there was no demographics. It was, we were Americans. Like September
Yeah.
12th, 2001 was the most patriotic day in the history, in this country's history.
Unifying, like,
And
yeah, because
now,
Pearl Harbor was one thing.
right, Pearl Harbor was one
But
thing.
that's a military base. It's isolated.
And I mean,
It's still tragic, of course.
It plunged us into a, all-out world war. But
Yes.
whatever. Like, it is what it is.
But this was on a scale that was unprecedented.
This was civilians. This was people who minding their own business, going to work, trying to make ends meet. And 2,997 of them, including 300 and something firefighters and cops and everything else lost their lives that day, and it was an absolute atrocity. And we've come so far in 24 years that we are now about to elect a communist, Muslim extremist mayor to New York.
Well, we won't because we don't. We're not constituents.
We as New York.
Yes,
as Americans are about to elect that, and I find that to be just absolutely fascinating. That it only took, I mean, it didn't even take 24 years, because what was it, 2010, 2011? They were talking about building mosques at ground zero. And we're like, hold up. Like, one, they're like, well, not all Muslims are terrorists. Like, no, but all terrorists are Muslims. So that, kind of doesn't really track, but whatever. And I'm like, and, just because you can doesn't mean you should. I don't think that's a great look, at that point. Like, hey, 19 Muslim extremists hijacked, 2 planes or 3 planes and 4 planes technically, and killed over 3,000 people in one day. Let's build a temple to the religion that they followed so fanatically that led them to do that. No, I don't think that's a good idea. Actually, I think that's pretty fucking stupid.
And the people that wanted it to be done should have known that, and I think they did, and that's why they were kind of probably trying to be somewhat inflammatory as well.
100%. They were trying to
just
do
in the
doing
underhanded, shielded way of like, well, this is our religion, like, and
yeah. And if you don't want it and you don't like it, you're an Islamophobe. And I'm like, actually, no, I'm not afraid of Islam at all. I just don't want you to exist ever. Anywhere.
No, sir, I don't like it.
Yeah. Nope, I'm not afraid of you. I just don't like you. Afraid would be, what the United Kingdom is doing. Yeah, that they're afraid of you.
Yeah. Well, it's like transphobe is a misnomer because nobody's afraid, has an irrational fear of trans people. It's just like,
right, like arachnophobia. That's an irrational fear of spiders. No, I do not have an irrational fear of trans people. I think you're gross, and I don't want you near me or around me or anywhere close to me. And I'm definitely, I will give him this. I am afraid that you might shoot up a place that I'm currently at. You know what I mean? Whether it be a movie theater, a church, shopping mall, whatever. I don't know. Like, yeah, that makes me afraid. But also, I carry a gun for that exact reason. So at least if you start shooting, at least I'll hopefully see, be able to see it coming a little bit and defend myself. But even still, it's like sometimes somebody's going to be the first one to go down in these mass shootings, and that guy's always the one turning around being like, "Hey man, what's up? Oh, why do you have a gun? Oh no."
Mm-hmm.
That's why. So
yeah, it's better to be prepared than not at all. Yeah.
Yep.
Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Because man, the last thing going through your head before a bullet would be like, "Damn, I wish I had my gun right now." Would be just the worst.
Man, I really dropped the ball on this one.
Yep. It's like, damn, why did I leave it at home? I was just going to True Keys for 5 seconds. I should have grabbed it, but. I'm guilty of it. I don't take my gun with me as often as I should. You know what I mean? I don't. But you never know. You just don't know. Like, are the odds of me ever needing it that big that I should take it with me everywhere? No, I don't think. I mean, ideally, I'll never even come close to having to use my weapon. I mean,
yeah,
I've had to pull my firearm on someone before. That was pretty funny. But I hope never to have to do that again.
Mm-hmm.
especially not in like a public place where bullets are actually flying. Because let me tell you, I'm a really, really good shot, but 11 rounds is not as many as you think when shit is hitting the fucking fan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not like a video game where, you know, you just keep reloading and you're like, oh, sweet. You know, I got 150 rounds in this. You're like, nope, I got 11. Don't miss. Oh,
Yeah.
and by the way, they're shooting back.
And you're moving or trying to take cover, and they're also moving and running. It's a different. Yeah.
Yep. Very different. So that's
Very
why you
different.
train.
Heat
for
of the moment, adrenaline.
Yeah, man.
Again,
I'm
we're
telling
all
you.
adrenaline.
When we train, like when we train at work, they try to gas us a little bit now. Like not us, like but like tag team guys, like they'll run you through the ringer physically and get you so fucking fatigued and tired, and then make you shoot and qualify, because that's the only way to like really simulate a real world experience. So it's tough. I mean, I encourage anybody who owns a firearm to take at least one of those courses, those like John Wick type Keanu Reeves courses, things where you're like doing all that stuff, and try it once, and then push yourself and see how you do, because I guarantee you the last thing, and not that anybody taking that course would do it, but anybody who's against like extended magazines, 30-round magazines or anything like that, yeah, go run one of those courses, let me know how many of those targets you hit, and then come back and tell me that, you know, we should only have 10-round magazines.
Yeah, tell me how much you loved reloading as much as you did to do all that.
Yeah, and then
Oh, wait, you
remind
didn't,
yourself
yeah.
yeah, and then remind yourself that, like, oh right, when I go to the store, I'm only gonna have one magazine, the one that's in my gun. I'm not gonna have two in a pouch over here, unless you're one of those guys, and in which case, God bless you. But I'm not. You know, I still want to maintain a level of comfort, and you know, I want to have a tool that will allow me to survive should I need to.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, or escape, I should say, because I mean, at that point, like I said, I got 10 plus 1 in the chamber. I'm not saving any lives unless I'm a real good shot, or I get a really good jump on the dude. That's it. You know, other than that, it is for me to get away and survive. That's it. And me and my probably my wife, because that's the only other time we, you know, who else would be with me. But I digress.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a whole nother. That's a whole different realm of shit.
Absolutely, but I mean, I have to 100% agree with you on it as well. I mean, shit.
I mean, anybody's ever tried, like, and I'm just saying, like, even the pressure of a clock ticking, like when you're trying to shoot fast and accurate, is enough to prove to you that you're not nearly as good or prepared as you think you are. Because under high stress situations, you'll revert back to whatever it is your natural body does. Now, for me, I've been handling guns for probably the better part of 30 years now. And whether real firearms, paintball guns, everything in between, I know my way around a gun. I can make, you know, I can shoot anything. Let's put it that way. I'm not gonna. I might not be the fastest, the best, whatever. But for somebody who doesn't, like, you know, I'm not going out like Keanu Reeves. For somebody who doesn't do that and shoots maybe once a year, I'll put myself up against, you know, damn near anybody, especially in a real life situation. But nonetheless, you don't know how you're going to react to that either until you're in it. But when the bullets start flying, shit changes, man. It changes. Ask anybody who's been there. I haven't, but I've talked to people who have, and they will be the first one to tell you that, like, it goes quiet. You can hear the blood running through your ears more than you can hear anything else. Like, it's just weird. They're like, it's a weird feeling. And you just do whatever your body naturally
because shit,
wants to do.
it just got real.
Yeah. And you don't know what's
happening. And the
happening,
actual, like, realization of how real it is.
Correct.
Hit you like a ton of brick. It's like, oh, shit.
You know, I thought when I watched the video of that kid up in Buffalo a couple of years ago that went into the supermarket and started targeting all the black people. And you know, I thought of it, and I put myself in that situation, and I was like, you know, I have my Glock, which is a 40 caliber, so it's like basically it's a 9mm for all intents and purposes. I thought of it, and I'm like, if I had been in that supermarket and saw that guy, my instinct would have been, obviously, like, if I couldn't fly, I was going to fight. And if I had taken out my gun and shot at this kid, who, because of this color of my skin, was going to never even pull the trigger, or like point the gun at me on purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would have pulled out my gun. I would have shot at him. He had pretty serious body armor on, which my weapon wouldn't have penetrated, and it would have just pissed him off, got his attention, and then he would have been forced to shoot me because I was going to impede his progress. And even though he wasn't there to kill me, by doing that, I just made myself unintentionally a target. And that's when I started thinking of like, okay, well, should I start carrying a larger caliber weapon on me for an everyday carry? And I'm like, so I've started exploring like Smith & Wesson 500s, Desert Eagle 50s, which everybody thinks is like, you know, it's a safe queen, it's a joke. I'm like, but I have a big enough frame where I could actually carry it and be fairly comfortable with it. You know what I mean? But you know, you
Plus,
bust out,
they are pretty sick.
yeah, and you bust out the gold deagle, you know, and throw one down at the kid who's, you know, shooting up a store. You know, he's gonna think twice about it, whether he's got armor on or not. That's
That's
he's
a
going
fucking
down.
deagle.
He's
Yeah.
going down. So, you know, but at a certain distance, anything over a certain distance, I mean, I'd say probably like 20 yards, 30 yards, which isn't, it's a lot, but not a lot, but it is. But anything like even 10 yards, you know, a 9mm is not going to do much to body armor. It's going to hurt, you know, it's going to break some ribs and knock the wind out of them, but it certainly, it might not take him out of the fight, you know, and that kind of, so that made me like think like, oh shit, should I be carrying a bigger gun? And then I started thinking like Glock 10s and, you know, all the shit, like it starts running through your head and you're like, all right, well, if I get into a situation and I have time to identify the guy that's doing the shooting and I see body armor, I'm probably just going to dip. Sorry, everybody. You know, but he's got a DevTac Ronin helmet on. That's like a $4,000 helmet that's bulletproof. I can't help you. Sorry. I'm not equipped.
We'll find some people that are. It's just, it ain't me right now.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I mean, I'm gonna be the first one on the phone. Like, yo, bring the big guns. Homie's equipped, you know. But it ain't me. It ain't me, Chief. I ain't no
like
hero.
in the right situation, a Twisted Tea would work just fine if I.
Yes,
but,
exactly. Right, in the right
But
situation.
this guy's got too much stuff.
Yeah. You get somebody who's determined like that, man. It's tough. So, anyhow, I digest. No, we got off on that little tangent, but sorry.
No, it's all good. I think that's a good place to leave it off too.
Sounds good. Yeah, that was a good talk. We had fun tonight. That was good.
Yeah.
We didn't even get to South Park, but that's okay because you know what? We don't have an episode this week, so we can do we can do next week. We'll review the
sure
the South Park episode.
Spoilers, I liked it.
I fucking loved it. All right.
Now
so
it's like, okay, where are they going?
Let me just say this beforehand.
Sure.
We always say that they have a head fake, right? Like it's never going where you think it's going, and you never know where it's going till it gets there. The fact that like the play on words now, and my dad of all people pointed this out to me because I told him,
they beat you over the head with the double on. It's not even a double entendre because it's so blatant. But yes, go ahead. What
were you gonna say?
Oh, Trump is totally fucking Satan.
Yes. So
yeah.
But my dad took it as Trump is fucking Satan. And my dad took it as Satan is the woke, you know, walk is dead. And my dad was like, he's like, yeah, Trump is fucking Satan, meaning,
oh, okay,
he's fucking all the he's like, and my dad took that as like the libs, the woke people, all this other stuff, and he is fucking them. You know what I mean? And so I was like,
yeah, fucking them over.
Yeah, you know what, Dad? I think you're onto something there. Because I had told him after the third episode, my dad was like, you know, he's like, I love South Park, but he's like, you know, he's like, I don't like the way, he's like, they're kind of making light of like a lot of serious situations and stuff that Trump's doing, which I get, like they were kind of like towing that line of like, you know, Trump's you know, the tariff, like in this episode, like the tariffs and everything. But then it got to this episode, but like, you know, like the border, the ice episode and all that other stuff where it's like, yeah, like I get it, it's all funny, but like also that's serious shit. And like they were like kind of like, you know, doubling down on some of the fake news, if you will, that had been put out there, the fake stories. But this week when they got to it, and they basically like, you know, the Mr. Kim is like just overcharging for shit because like, tariffs, I can't do nothing. It's the tariffs, you know.
They fucking me and Wing came back finally.
Yes, Wing was in it, and I love how Wing's like the voice of reason. Like, you're ripping these kids off, and he's like, fuck them, the fucking tariffs are fuck me. They tariffs fuck them. And she's like, the tariffs aren't fucking you. And he's like, So they don't know that. Like, you know what I
Shut
mean?
up,
Like,
you stupid bitch.
yeah. And I thought that was wicked.
Well, then
fucking
what should
funny.
I do? Like, go back to selling food? No, Walk is dead, bitch.
Yeah, Walk is dead. Don't you see? And
Yeah.
so I told my dad, like, after the third episode, my dad was like, he's like, I love South Park. He's like, they're really good. They're funny. It is funny. He goes, but he goes, I don't like people bashing my boy like that. You know what I mean? Like, they're getting a little carried away with the anti-Trump shit. And he's like, I can handle it. I'm not a retard. He's like, but at the same time, he's like, I don't want to see that. Like, I don't really like. That's not funny to me. Like when they make light of like serious stuff that is when the way they're making fun of it is inaccurate. It's going along with the inaccurate shit. And I'm like, Dad, I'm like, trust me. I'm like, they always have an angle. It's never going where you think it's going. Just keep with it, and you'll trust me. It'll be fine. And then this episode came out, and he was like, yeah. He's like, now I get it. He's like, he goes, Joe, he's like, you told me. They had an angle. And he's like, and now they're like, Trump is fucking Satan, and woke is dead. And he's like, you see what they're doing? And he goes, now I see what you were saying. I think I see where they're going. I'm like, yes, that could be one direction, but also probably not. So don't get too attached here. But yes, you're right. Like they're going to give it out equally. They're not just gonna sit there and do a whole season of just fucking ragging on Trump and taking the low-hanging fruit. That's not what they do. They're so much better than that.
Well, it was the double entendre, or even if it is that, I immediately recognized it because they kept saying Trump is fucking Satan. I was like, oh, they mean that in two ways. It means it's gonna mean he's literally fucking Satan.
Yes.
Definitely. And then it's also gonna mean the way that people will say he's literally Hitler. Like, oh, Trump is definitely fucking Satan. Like, oh, he's totally fucking Hitler. You know,
right?
Like,
yeah, that's a good way. That's a good way to look at it too.
I think that's what their intention was.
And then I'm also curious to see like what Satan represents in all this.
Well, because now they have a butt baby.
Right.
Like they had butt buddy. Oh, it's totally. I like how they were like, is it even possible for Satan to be pregnant? And they're like, we already have a guy who knows all about it. And he's like, oh, according to this shit. Yeah, it's totally possible, and it's called a butt baby.
Yeah.
So we can confirm that Donald Trump is fucking Satan.
Yeah,
they say it so many times.
And then the whole angle with Butters and the Labubus.
Oh yeah,
I guess just like little troll.
Dude,
things.
I love how Jesus plays it. Like his reaction to them watching the video.
Yeah.
He's like, "What the hell was that?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, that's just a Labubu unboxing video on TikTok." And he's like, "Yeah, but what the fuck was that?"
He's like, "What the fuck is this?" He's like, "This is a satanic ritual." And they're like, "Yeah, it's just a
They're
fad.
Like, "Yeah, oh yeah, that's what it is."
Yeah. Dude, it's so fucking funny.
Jesus is now the counselor, and he is just not good at it. At least at the beginning of this episode.
The kids like, this counselor sucks.
They still at the end they say he sucks, but at least he is kind of better than the last guy.
He's better than the last guy. Yeah. I love that like Butters gets invited to that girl's birthday party, and like he just thinks he's gonna get laid the whole time, and she's like, "Come on, you want to do it right now?" And he's like, "Well, should we like kiss first?"
Yeah, dude. He's still convinced that what he did, what happened was sex, because at the end of it, it's a quick line, but they say, oh, "I bet you kids won't be doing that anytime sooner," or like, "Bet you don't want to do that again." And Butter says something along the lines of like, "Oh yeah, I won't be having sex anytime soon, anytime soon."
Like he thought that was sex. It's like he was like, I'm gonna puke blood all over you and like, draw a pentagram on the floor, and like I don't know. Dude, it was so funny, and I love the way the girls are like, "Oh my god, it is so cute," and like, "Yeah, it's not as cute as mine." And they just start like brawling. Like Carmen's like, "Guys, it's happening again."
Actually, fun fact about that: the little blonde girl in that scene, that gets into the fight. That is voiced by Trey and his wife's daughter.
Yeah, like she's been doing voices now for a bit.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But like not full voices. Like they used to do little clips of her when she was younger. But now, I think she's doing them like more like regularly.
Now they got her calling other little kids bitch and cunt. Like
Well, like, you remember the clip from 6 Days to Air when he's trying to get her to say something, and
Oh yeah, that's right.
and he like turns to the microphone, like puts the microphone in her face, and she says it. Like, I forget exactly what it was that she said, but it was wicked funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's super good. It's just they're the best, dude. They don't know, no one does it better than them. So, all right, well, we did the South Park thing too. Fuck it, who cares?
Indeed. We can extrapolate on it further next week, and
yeah, because I gotta watch it. I gotta watch it a couple
Metal.
more. Yeah, I gotta watch it a couple more times and see, because I know there's some stuff I'm forgetting in there that I wanted to bring up, but we'll do it more in depth next week.
Word.
Sounds
and
good.
yeah, we can talk Twisted Metal again too if you finish it.
Oh, I'm definitely finishing it this week. No, there's no way I'm not. Like, I think I got like 4 or 5 episodes left. I might finish it. Like I said, I might finish it tonight after Monday Night Football.
You could. Yeah, you have the time.
Yeah. So I have no racing to do tonight. Sucks, but whatevs.
Hey, it is what it is.
I'm sure I'll survive.
I'm sure you will. You got plenty of food and other shit you can do.
Yeah. I'm not wasting away.
Absolutely not. No atrophy here, folks. We keep on moving.
Indeed.
So yes, until next time, folks, thank you for watching. This has been the Adult Table. Hope you all have a good week.
See you next week.
Indeed. See you next week, brother.
Later.
Later.